This wasn't an old airplane, it wasn't bad maintenance, and it damn sure wasn't weather. This was a 2014 Cessna 172, barely 100 hours since it left the factory. 2 people on board, a 22-year-old student pilot and his 22-year-old instructor. She was certified in singles, multis, instruments. Young but sharp. He was building hours toward his commercial. It was a calm, clear night. They had already done 2 touch-and-goes. This was the 3rd. They departed runway 7, left at Daytona Beach. Right after liftoff, the engine started backfiring. RPMs dropped. The Cessna clawed its way to maybe 300 feet. Then came the turn. The instructor tried to bring it back to the runway, hard left bank. Now, let me stop right there, because this is where the lesson lives. They call it the impossible turn, and it ain't just a nickname, it's earned. Here's what they drill into you when you're learning to fly. If the engine quits after takeoff, you don't turn back. You pitch for best glide speed, you fly straight, and you pick something ahead. I don't care if it's a golf course, a school field, or a damn parking lot. You land it there. Immediately lower the nose and trim into the glide at optimum speed. Look through an arc of about 60 degrees left and right of aircraft heading and select the best available landing area. Turn off the fuel and mags. Pull the mixture to idle cutoff to minimize fire risk. If yours is a tailwheel aircraft, avoid risk of turning over during the landing by retracting the gear, if applicable. It is better to leave the nose gear extended on tri-gear aircraft to absorb the first shock of arrival. Make gentle turns to avoid obstacles. When you are sure of reaching the chosen landing area, lower the flaps, in stages if necessary, but aim to have full flaps before touchdown. Do not allow the airspeed to increase. On short final, turn off the master switch and unlatch the cabin doors to guard against risk of being trapped in the cabin if the doors jam. Resist the temptation to turn back to the field. Turning back feels like the right move, but it's the move that gets you killed. When you bank that airplane, your stall speed goes up. At 45 degrees, it can jump by 20% or more, and at 300 feet, that stall comes fast. No time to recover, no margin for error. You're in a descending turn, low and slow. All it takes is 1 second too long pulling on that yoke, and that plane is coming out of the sky, nose first. That's exactly what happened. They stalled in the turn, hit the ground, and the wreckage burned. Both pilots were killed. And I'm not saying any of this to blame them. This one hurts. I've flown off that same runway more times than I can count. I used to be scared of flying myself until I got the nerve to learn how to pilot an aircraft. And part of being a pilot is having a plan for when things go wrong. If you lose power on takeoff, especially below pattern altitude, the runway behind you is gone. Forget it. There's more risk in that turn than there is in putting it down in a field. And I know the area around 7 left. It's built up, yeah. But there's roads, golf courses, big open spots if you've looked ahead of time. This crash didn't happen because they weren't experienced. It happened because the instinct to fix it kicked in and the airplane ran out of altitude before they could. So here's the takeaway. If that engine quits after rotation, don't waste time second-guessing. Push the nose down, pick your spot, and fly the plane to the ground like your life depends on it. Because it does. 2 lives were lost that night, a young instructor and a student chasing his dream. This episode is dedicated to them and to every pilot out there still learning. If you got something out of this episode, hit that like button. Drop a comment below and tell me what you do different. And make sure you subscribe, because we've got more crash reports, more hard lessons, and more truth coming every week. This is not about scaring people, it is about making better pilots. One crash at a time. You're watching Approach Terminated.